Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, what if? What if I was going to deliver my session by texting it to you? Not talking, texting it to you. What if you knew that? So if I was going to text the message to you and try to deliver complex ideas in the session, and you knew that before you came in the room, would you still be enticed to come in and listen to this session? Can you imagine if this would be a delightful experience for you? Think as consumers. Would you want to engage? Can you envision this being delightful? Let's talk about voice, the most fundamental form of human communications. Look at this picture. We learn to speak before we learn to text. Yet most interactions in customer service are text-based. There's two types of interactions: simple, repetitive tasks, and stuff that is more meaningful, more profound. How do we express ourselves? When we really want to express an idea, we talk, we don't text. And the age of bots is upon us. That is clear to this audience. And we know that the statistics are staggering. So just about any business out there that is already implementing chatbots. Some of them are not so great because they miss the intent and because they fail to deliver on value that the consumer is looking for. So how do we understand intent? What's the easy way of doing so? Let's listen to the customer. Let's listen to the customer speak and really try to understand the essence of what the customer is looking for. And so the trend towards the chatbots is obvious. It's clear to all of us. And we're thinking about something that is very simple and repetitive, and we're immediately thinking, okay, this is suitable for bots. And we're thinking about something that is more complex and requires human interaction, so we're thinking human agents. And the ROI and the customer experience can be awesome if we realize the ability to understand the intent and deliver the proper value, and drive this to a successful experience for the consumer. If it is not a pleasant experience, if it's not joyful end-to-end, then we're missing the whole point. And so let's talk about enticing the consumer to engage with us. We want to bring the consumer in any which way possible to talk to us, to engage with our service through any channel possible. So we're constantly adding more and more channels. But we always want to delight the customer through the journey and drive the customer through a successful completion by understanding the intent and delivering the value. If we're able to deflect some of that traffic away from human agents, we're successful. And so to entice and delight, if we could make the chatbots a little more human, that'd be really great, because one great bot can replace up to 25 agents according to some statistics. But we must have a great experience, because otherwise we lost the important asset, the most important asset of our business, and that's the consumer, our customers. And so let's look at some of the trends that are shaping human-to-bot interaction and how they relate to voice communication. So first of all, we started by IVR, very rigid formats. Where do you want to go from? Where do you want to go to? What time you want to arrive? Remember those days? We moved to more natural language-based understanding and interaction. So that's one critical pillar of our ability to drive joyful experiences. Secondly, we've moved away from single channels to multiple channels, and now we're integrating the multiple channels into a uniform experience so that when the customer engages us, they could start on one channel, the next day pick up on the other one, and the context remains. So that is a critical thing too. Another trend that is shaping, that was discussed before in the previous sessions, is all the home speakers and Siri. Kids just love speaking to Siri. And so, voice interactions is not the aging mother solution anymore, because we used to think about it this way. Well, we got chatbots from a mobile, but we need to have agents because my mother still wants to call in and talk to an agent. But voice is not the aging mother solution anymore. It's the cool thing that the young generation loves and expects. Now think about the IoT generation that's going to speak to the refrigerator and ask, what's in there for me to eat for lunch today? Voice is a fundamental form of human communication, becomes so natural to us. Let's think about the young generation. This is what they're expecting us to deliver them. And so, Microsoft went out and researched this and found that close to 40% of people said that they actually prefer voice for customer interaction. Why? Because it's natural, it's easy for them. And this is the ultimate means for delivering enticement to get people to engage with us and to deliver proper value and delight the customer through the journey and their experience with our brand. Unfortunately, the majority of chatbots today are still text-based. Why is that? Well, it's pretty obvious, because the frameworks, HTTP-based frameworks, this is how it started. That's the simple way of doing so. They started as text-based and remain today text-based. Smart speakers have evolved completely separately in different industries. And so, what if we could bring those two technologies together? What if we could merge voice and the text-based environments and create delight for our customers? We believe it's possible. We believe that you should let your bots do the talking. Wait a minute, you may say. You talked about profoundly expressing feelings, but then you talked about simple repetitive tasks. Are you talking about the same thing? Does that fit into one story? Well, we believe so, because the voice UI in the bot world leverages the constant improvements that we see in NLU and NLG technologies. The more we're able to understand what's spoken to us as bots, and the better we know how to formulate our responses in a manner that is expressive of the value that we want to deliver to the customers, then it's not just repetitive, simple tasks. It could be more profound stuff. By doing so, we clearly can increase the deflection rates in service interactions and move away from the agents to the bots as much as possible. So we're enhancing productivity and expanding the number of channels, and we're differentiating because we could determine if our bot is a male or a female, what kind of tone of voice do they have. If I'm buying commodity stuff or if I'm buying life insurance, I want to have a different tone spoken to me. And we could do that today. So when we're adding voice as a channel, are we just adding another channel? Is that just another slice in the pie? Well, technically, yes. But this voice and this telephony interaction actually engages us with the world. It engages us with many people, because sometimes I'm not going to be home to speak through Google, or as my phone failed this morning, Siri's going to die on me, and I just want to be able to pick up the phone and call. I don't always have the application for the business that I'm engaging with. Telephony becomes the simple way of doing things. But this does not come without challenges, because bot framework, cognitive service frameworks are very rigid frameworks. They're proprietary media formats based. They have unique APIs, etc. There's another challenge, because when we're conveying voice, we need to do this in the proper way, because speech recognition engines will fail and the bot will likely not be able to recover. So delivering voice quality in the proper manner is super critical. Read this message, if you will. It's just blabber of letters and characters, numbers. This message serves to prove how our minds can do amazing things. You know that. Will that work if voice quality is not properly delivered to the bot? And so proper infrastructure needs to be put in place, and it needs to be easy for the bot developers. Because when you voice enable a bot framework, whichever framework you choose, AWS, Microsoft Azure, or others, or a combination of those, and you want to bring in the voice engagement channels, wherever there may be, WebRTC for once. You want to build this voice AI infrastructure that is HTTP-based and allows the developers of the bots to easily bring in media streams and voice streams into the conversation. It makes it very easy. The call flow is very simple. Nothing genius around here. Voice is converted to text, it's fed into the bot, converted back to the agent. And it's seamless for the bot developer. So you're adding this voice channel in a very easy way. What if you want to step down the bot and move to an agent? Very easily done so. Because we escalate the call to the human, the call is transferred, we transfer the background of what just happened, and the chatbot steps down. If you want to learn more about that, please visit us at the Expo area, talk to our VoiceAI experts, and we'd love to see you. Thank you very much.